Have you heard about Red Cymbals? Well, if you're a drummer, you're going to want to stick around for this one. I know what you guys are all thinking, this guy's endorsed by Red, so this review is going to be all biased in Red's favour. But no, honestly, you make up your own mind after you hear how good these things sound. I just want you to know these are all based on my own personal opinions. I generally lean more towards the big, thin cymbals, especially in the type of music I play and that I work with in the studio. Now, with all that out the way, let's have a look at these 16-inch Vertical Series hats. So these hi-hats have a nice, clean, lathed top. This is the top hat. Sorry, Dylan, for all the finger marks on it. And then we've got the bottom hat, which is unlathed. It's got a raw type of bell. It's a little bit more of an orange colour. But I think this combination gives these hats just a really nice, clean and clear response, and they just fit really well in a mix. Now, I'd say these hats have a smooth mid to bright timbre, and they also have some really nice stick definition. I think that's really hard to find in a pretty thin cymbal. But you know what, let's have a listen. Now, in my current setup, I've been playing a pair of 16-inch traditional hats, and I just love them. They're probably a little bit warmer in my opinion, and in comparison to these verticals, they overall sound a lot brighter and softer in volume. But let's have a listen to these both side by side. You know, I think I could find a place for both of these sets in my current setup. Alright, so next up on my list is the 20-inch Vertical Thin Crash. Now, all the cymbals from this lineup receive less lathing and more hammering, which give this lineup its unique sound. It has a nice explosive sound for cutting through the mix with a semi-quick decay, and like the name suggests, this guy's thin. And I believe it's the reason why I like thinner cymbals so much. Like, I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but that's really thin. But I think that's why I like the thinner cymbals so much more, is they just sound a lot more smoother. They don't have nasty overtones, at least this lineup of cymbal doesn't. But why don't we have a listen to it? So moving on, we have the 22-inch Light Ride. Look at this thing. It is beautiful. Now, when it comes to rides, this one is amazing. Now, this is probably one of the most crashable rides that I've ever played. I've been having a little bash around with this in the studio this week, and all I can say is, I want one. I could see this as a very popular ride in most drummer setups. This just sits so well in the mix when you're crashing out on it, you're just riding it, and it doesn't have any of those nasty overtones. But what I love about this ride is the versatility it brings. It has great stick definition, it doesn't linger around too long, Plus, it also doubles as a crash. Alright, so next on the list we have the 18-inch effects crash. Now, this is such a great contrast to any setup in my opinion. It's super trashy, it's explosive with a super quick decay, and it's a great addition for accents as well as riding on. This one has some extra hammering on it as well as some laser cutouts. I'd actually like to hear this one in a 20-inch. Well, that about wraps up this video for the new Vertical Series cymbals. Now, what were some of your favourites? Let me know in the comments, I'd love to hear from you. Also, if you'd like any more info about any of the cymbals you've heard, or you're wanting to check out some other Red products, then make sure you head over to redcymbals.com, or you could click the link in the description. I just wanted to say a huge thanks to all of you who've got to the end of this video. If it's helped you in any way, it'd be a huge help for me if you gave this video a thumbs up and you considered subscribing. Well, that's it, and I'll see you in the next one.